But I want everyone to understand that the Cincinnati Bengals, top to bottom, that was the most impressive they have looked all year.
I agree with that. If there's a question for you, Ryan, when it comes to quarterback or the defense that is so rugged for San Francisco, where do you start?
Well, obviously, you can't talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and their offense with the healthy Joe Burrow and not start at the quarterback. But you are starting to have concerns defensively for the San Francisco 49ers. And that's why I love what Fred Warner said, that Brock Purdy isn't my largest concern. Think back to Monday Night Football last week and what Jordan Addison and Kirk Cousins were able to do in the pass game versus the San Francisco 49ers. And that's without Justin Jefferson. And now you look at a guy like Jamar Chase, 10 catches, 100 yards. Joe Burrow having an opportunity to push the football down the field. And when you think about the red zone, because they aren't necessarily getting the sort of rush that you normally get from the front of the San Francisco 49ers, they're playing a ton of man on the back end. And Isaiah Oliver was abused 2 times in the red zone, one by Tyler Boyd and then by Jamar Chase. This team isn't what they were at the start of the season, and they are in sort of an identity crisis, because that was play mistake-free football, allow your playmakers to make plays with their hands, with their legs after the catch, but it was also play excellent defense and always give your team a chance. We aren't seeing that.
The bye comes at a great time for them, clearly, as they take a deep breath. Swagu, you were going to say something.
I'm concerned about the interior of this defensive line. Like, I know Brock Purdy is going to be the story, and we're going to blame him for everything. We're going to talk about putting him in Canton when he throws 400 next time. But here's the thing, man.
He's never going for 400 yards.
Well, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Like, let's calm down a little bit, man. The man playing in the NFL, we finding out who he is still. We don't know who he is. But the defensive line for the San Francisco 49ers has been their calling card. Them and those 2 linebackers have been the reason why we've been high on the San Francisco 49ers. Guys, let's be honest at this table. We've always had questions about the 49ers quarterback. Even when they were having a tremendous amount of success, we've never had to ask questions about if they're going to generate pressure, if they're going to turn the football over, if this defense is going to dominate games. And they are not doing it now. I don't know what has changed. We talked about Bosa and his contract situation not being there for training camp. DeVar Hargrave signed an $80 million contract. He was a phenomenal interior rusher last year in Philadelphia. I don't see that now. Eric Armstead had 2 sacks in the Cincinnati Bengals game. But it wasn't just winning. And these guys have been winning up front for so many years. They've been dominating teams, really putting pressure on teams when they get a lead. I don't know what's changed about this defensive front, but they need to get it together, and I am calling them out because they're going to need them to play at a very high level.
This is the first time I've ever seen the San Francisco – well, the first time in the last year and a half I've watched the San Francisco 49ers fight in retreat defensively. They're normally coming forward.
Maybe that's what Warner's talking about. And just to bring people in our room, we have these conversations leading up to the show tonight. You said something in the room tonight about Cincinnati. You said they're the best what?
Team in the AFC. I'm telling you right now, bro. Joe Burrow healthy completely. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes last night, what we saw with Denver.
Right.
It's wide receiver questions there. There is an issue in Kansas City. I don't know if anybody wants to admit it. The Baltimore Ravens could be on that level if it wasn't for the inconsistency in which they show in week in and week out. The Cincinnati Bengals, where they are now and how they're going to play going forward, I think it's going to slowly become the favorites to be the representative in the Super Bowl.
You know, with 2 defensive guys on the set, I'm shocked that you guys don't understand or haven't articulated. You do guys understand it, but haven't articulated the correlation between the 49ers offense struggling without Trent Williams and Debo and how much more pressure it's putting onto that 49ers defense.
100%.
They're on the field more. 100%. They're having to play more snaps.
Absolutely.
And the offense isn't being as effective.
But
it's going to help them when Trent Williams and Debo come back because that offense will be more dominant.
And you're absolutely right. But guess what? Nobody cares.
No one cares about
that's the reality, bro.
The road team didn't care yesterday, and they put pressure on the defense, and their defense put pressure on the offense. Bengals.
I've been there before.
Looked the part.